Press on. Yeah. Assemble forth. Legion about. Amble around. Sound off. Pursue happiness with your life and your liberty on your property. And for God's sakes, exercise your Fourth Amendment right not to be in your person. One of the people here, we got gang activity once again in a familiar spot just a couple nights ago, or last night. I recorded a stop right in this very spot, but that time it was the Williamson County Sheriff, and this time I'm pretty sure it's Georgetown PD. And unlike the sheriff, who apparently has a policy to immediately call for backup on any traffic stop, another fellow Georgetown PD gang member just drove by without even a glance in this direction, leaving who I think here's, oh no, it's not Officer Fox, I don't think. Oh, it is. I'm constantly catching Officer Fox engaged in gang activity.
Hey David, how's it going?
Everywhere you go, man, I'm there.
No, you're just in this area.
Well, so are you, apparently.
No, I was actually going back to get some food.
Oh yeah? Officer Fox wants to get some food. Okay, now we've got company. This officer doesn't even have any lights on. No lights at all. You know you're driving with no lights? I've seen, he was driving with no lights. No headlights or anything.
He's doing that so he doesn't.
That's unacceptable. Oh. This is escalating.
What? Get to speak up, I can hear you.
He said she needs to get out of the vehicle and this is her last chance. I have seen that other officer before. I think that's the one who tried to actually get my ID. He's putting her in cuffs already. So usually I don't have any type of conversation with an officer before their stop's over, but he was conversing with me, talking about food and yada yada. Oh, it's Officer Jackson. Right. No, he wasn't trying to get my ID. He wanted to know where I live. Of course, that's no different than asking my ID, essentially. You know, he wanted to interrogate me because I showed up on one of his traffic stops so quickly. Of course, his investigative skills are lacking a little bit because he was quite visible from Starbucks as he turned on his lights on the highway. Oh, I guess he's not putting her in cuffs. He was just probably giving her a Terry search, making sure she wasn't armed or anything. So I don't know why he demanded that she get out of the car. And now Officer Jackson is interrogating her where she works, as if that's relevant. He wants to know where she lives. So Officer Fox is searching the vehicle now. Why, I don't know. What probable cause he has. Maybe he's claiming to smell alcohol on her. He just asked her if there was anything in the car. Which, of course, there's things in the car. That's a stupid-ass question. What's new? I can't hear what she's saying. I can only hear him. Oh, he's asking about weed in the car.
They were in there smoking weed.
Oh, I think he just found a roach. Christ. He's shining his light in her eyes. She said that she doesn't smoke weed, but her friends were in the car smoking weed or something. He's searching her mouth. It's craziness. So ridiculous the extent that gang members go to try and uncover marijuana. There's no victim at all, and they're probably going to arrest her, take the car. For a roach. It's absurd. Maybe he said he smelled weed when she rolled down the window. I'm not sure what she was pulled over for in the first place. So Officer Fox is going all through her stuff. He just put a bag on top of the car. Maybe that has paraphernalia in it or something. It's hard to tell. But what I do know is that it is colder than a leech's teat with a brass brazier on the shady side of an iceberg, and Officer Jackson's over there catching flies, yawning. Guess he's a little tired. It's exhausting, harassing the people, extorting from them. That's what they do, though. I don't see any excuse why Officer Jackson drove up with no headlights on at all. I just can't imagine a scenario where that makes any sense. I mean, he could turn him off when he got here if he wanted, but usually they don't do that unless they're going to do a drunk driving test. And then they don't want the lights to interfere with the eye test. He's actually going to search under the hood, I think. That's so funny. I suppose, I mean, you could hide something there. But so he's got a roach in a bag. There must be paraphernalia in that. Oh, there's a grinder. A pipe. But it was all on the passenger side. Be nice if he dropped that roach on the ground and I could recover it. That would be so huge. I think she's saying it's not hers, which might be believable. It was on the passenger side. I hope he lets her go. It's really ridiculous when they arrest people for paraphernalia and a roach. That's absurd. Even if this is Texas. I guess he is arresting her. Wow. That's so ridiculous. So Officer Jackson is touching the items with no gloves on or anything. I guess they're just going to assume it's hers and not even conduct a fingerprint test on it. Apparently that's the plan. This is really a shame that they're doing this over some marijuana.
See you, David.
Thanks, brother.
Hope you feel good about yourself. So I guess Officer Fox is leaving. And Jackson's probably going to stay for the tow truck. I don't think they're going to leave the car here. But nevertheless, I'll start a new video. Officer Jackson's, oh, maybe he's going to talk to me, I don't know. So, Officer Jackson, When you came up, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I'm good, sir. I got work to do.
Oh, well, I just had a quick question and then I'll get out of your hair.
I'm good, thanks.
Oh, you're good, huh? I guess he's got an attitude. Probably because I didn't submit to his moronic line of questioning the last time we encountered each other. But I think he should issue himself a ticket for not having any headlights on when he got here. He's mad because I said his question was retarded. Probably. Wanting to know where I live. As if he has any call to ask me any questions at all. Of course he doesn't. What's new? So this wasn't even a person, I don't think. It seemed like... How come you didn't have your headlights on when you arrived?
Safety reasons.
Safety reasons to turn off your headlights? I've never seen any other officers do that. I don't see how that could be considered safe to do that. But that's usually their answer for everything. Officer safety. Officer safety. In this day and age, officer safety, you understand. No, actually I don't understand. Whiny little babies. Officer safety. Crying in the mud. I really don't even want to be standing here right now. It's super cold, but because Officer Jackson wants to be filled with attitude. I figure I might as well stay here and keep him honest. Well, as honest as a gang member can be. He's definitely a gang member. Officer Fox thinks I'm only over here. I've recorded many stops all over this town. I just only have seen him over here, but I think I do have more stops from him than anybody else. I have a bunch of stops from Officer Walters too, but lately it seems like every stop is Officer Fox. Actually, I think it's 3 in a row from the PD. The last 3 have been Officer Fox. But so maybe he's going to do a more thorough search. That's what it looks like. I'm not sure. Maybe he's just logging what is in there for when it gets towed. Making sure they have an adequate list of everything that they're extorting from one of the people who did not consent to this code of the health and safety code. You know, it'd be different if there was a victim, if she injured somebody. But the state's going to claim that they were victimized somehow or other, which is absurd, of course. I mean, aside from the fact that the state is just a fictional organization that only exists on paper, they can't be harmed just because somebody has some marijuana. But that's their claim, you know. So shady. In this day and age, people just can't be free to do what they want and not bother anybody. So they're going to throw her in jail. She'll probably plea out and then end up on probation. Probably have to go to some like drug treatment or something, pay a fine, and be stuck in the system for God knows how long. So I'm just curious, how is it safety to keep your headlights off? I'm just curious. I really don't know. I've never seen that done before.
Because there's an officer up here. If I come up here with my headlights on, it silhouettes him against the car.
All right. That's absurd, but we're getting somewhere. I mean, Officer Fox's lights were already on, and so of course he would be silhouetted against the car anyway. And just because you silhouette somebody, I don't see how that is unsafe. But they just have excuses for everything. That's the PD, the gang. You know, this is what people have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. While they claim that they're protecting and serving, they're really just harassing and collecting, as usual. They don't care. About that girl, or you know what, how this is going to affect her life going forward. You know, she seemed young, and you know, if this is her first charge, this could affect her a great deal in the future. Could limit her ability to get a job. Could possibly cause her to lose her job. You know, if she has one now, because she's in jail. She's gonna have to be bailed out, of course. I mean, there's not really much of a social stigma with getting charged with weed. Nobody cares except for the gang members. They care because it's an excuse to extort. They really could have just let her go with a warning and taken her stuff, you know. But no, Officer Fox just couldn't give her a break. Well, she was black, so that probably had something to do with it. You know, if she was white, I don't know what would have happened, to be honest. This is Texas. Racism is a hobby of theirs here. Not every Texan. I'm not making a blanket statement, but it's rather prevalent throughout the South. You know, I mean, racism exists everywhere, but they take it seriously in the South. They don't even hide it as much, you know. Now with Donald Trump, I mean, you almost don't have to. He's emboldened everybody to discriminate freely. I'll start the video over. Alright, so this is part 3 of marijuana arrest with Officer Jackson waiting for the tow truck. It's about 32 degrees outside. I'm double gloved. Which is a good thing, because I would be totally freezing my butt off right now if I wasn't. I mean, it's pretty cold. I'm not gonna lie. I would like for the tow truck to get here. See, a tow truck just drove by. I don't know if he was supposed to be here, or if he just missed his turn or what, but The tow truck driver is just involved in the scam as anybody else. As usual, it's a team effort. It's hard to extort the people unless you have a gang. Let's do it. All for some marijuana that's probably going to be legal here in Texas in the relatively near future. A grinder and a pipe and a roach. I mean, seriously. Like, oh, congratulations, they just took a major, wow, they really protected the people this time, didn't they? It's absurd. All they did was justify their antics with nonsense, you know? There's no way anybody was injured. I'm not even sure what gave him the probable cause to search the car in the first place. He's claiming he smelled weed. I mean, the passenger window wasn't rolled down, so it would be hard to have a cross draft. Hopefully I have enough storage on my phone to complete this whole stop. We'll see. Georgetown PD, duty, honor, and community. You're right. There is no honor in this at all. You know, if it's their duty to harass and extort, collect, that's not very community minded. I'm not impressed. I think it's borderline treason, actually, to oppress the people in this way. So he's back in the car again. And God knows what. He locked his car door. Like, I'm gonna go in and steal his car or something. So retarded. Officer Jackson is definitely butthurt. And that's fine. The people are not happy either. Actually, by the arbitrary enforcement of H&S codes. which only apply to persons, not the people. You know, maybe they could be extra charges if there was a victim, but there's no victim. The lady that was just basically kidnapped and taken to the concentration camp is the only victim that I can see in this. They're certainly not going to teach her a lesson by doing this, I doubt. I mean, the views on marijuana are changing quickly. I don't think it'll be very long before it's made legal on a federal level, and in every state. You know, it's reaching a tipping point now. It'll be legal federally before it's legal in all the states, I think, but I just don't see what the big deal is. Nobody's getting hurt or anything. Wish this tow truck would get here. It is crazy cold. Even with 2 sets of gloves, they don't hold back the cold for long. It's already starting to freeze my fingers. My feet are ice cubes because I'm standing still. If I was walking around, my feet would come alive, but this is what I go through in order to document the let's be honest, the treasonous behavior that the people are putting up with. You know, we got to take our roads back, our lives back, our freedom, you know, and stop bowing down to these codes that don't even apply to the people. Persons consent to these codes, and in this country is ruled by consent. And while I'm not going to say that you have a right to smoke weed, you whatever she was pulled over for in the first place, you know, that's a rule. Oh, here's the tow truck finally coming from a different direction. I didn't expect that. Maybe he went around the block. I don't know. So it's glass wrecker service. Seems like they use a flatbed every time that I've seen, at least. They've used a flatbed. This is the part where they stall for dollars. See how much of the taxpayer money they can drain. Victimizing the people, all under a guise of protecting and serving. It's disgusting. These traders can't even take a minute to think about what they're doing and whether or not it's constitutional or not. You know, who do these codes actually apply to and who don't they apply to? They just think they apply to everybody, and they absolutely don't. They absolutely don't. So I don't know if the tow truck driver is going to drive the car over here where Officer Jackson is, but he's unloading his, or he's lowering his bed across the street. So obviously the car is going to get moved. I just don't know who's going to do it. Why he couldn't just back up in front of the car, I don't know. But how are you doing tonight? So it looks like the tow truck driver is gonna drive the car. Oh, he's probably just gonna drive it right up onto the flatbed. I think I have seen him do that before. And so that's that. Another one bites the dust. Who knows what it's going to cost to get that car out of impound. I don't even know what they're charging her with, whether it's driving under the influence or just paraphernalia or what. It's really sad. It's supposed to be the home of the brave and the land of the free, and instead it's come to this. You can't do anything without crossing paths with the local gang. And their cohorts, their accomplices at glass towing. 863-5058. That's 512-863-5058. The Glass Wrecker Service. 24-hour extortion. The gang probably keeps them busy. They probably don't even have to tow anybody else's cars. You done? So I guess he's done. I managed to stay until the end and show these gang member thugs, bullies, traitors that I don't leave until the end, so that's good. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, spread the word, right?
Press on.
Master by the name of Bates, smoking more than all 50 states combined. Yeah, right, I gotta stay on the grind. I got no money, so my weed's on my mind. I hit the club, but you know I can't dance. 7 and 7 in my cutoff chance. Had that shirt in my long ass hair. What part of how I look makes you think I care?